Once upon a time, in the lush valleys of ancient Greece, there lived a musician unlike any other. His name was Orpheus, and his melodies were so enchanting that they could tame wild beasts, make the trees sway, and even calm the roaring rivers. Every note he played carried magic, and his voice could stir even the coldest of hearts. But amidst all the beauty Orpheus created, there was one melody that resounded above all: his love for the radiant Eurydice. Eurydice was as graceful as the morning breeze, her laughter brighter than the golden sun. Together, they shared a love so deep, so pure, that the gods themselves looked upon them with admiration. Yet, as fate would have it, happiness is often fleeting. One fateful day, as Eurydice wandered through the meadows, tragedy struck. A venomous serpent coiled around her ankle, its bite swift and cruel. She gasped, fell to the ground, and as the light faded from her eyes, her spirit was carried away to the underworld. Orpheus was inconsolable. His world, once filled with music and light, had turned to silence and sorrow. No melody could ease the torment of his heart. He knew he could not live without her. And so, with nothing but his lyre and his undying love, he embarked on a journey that no mortal had ever dared to take. He would descend into the underworld and bring Eurydice back. The underworld was a place of darkness and despair, where lost souls wandered aimlessly and shadows whispered in the void. But Orpheus did not falter. He played his lyre, and the haunting beauty of his song echoed through the land of the dead. His music was so sorrowful, so filled with longing, that even Hades, the stern ruler of the underworld, was moved. Hades listened and, for the first time, felt the weight of mortal grief. "Orpheus," he said, "you may take Eurydice back to the world of the living, but there is one condition. You must walk ahead of her and never look back until you have both reached the surface. If you turn, even for a moment, she will be lost to you forever." Orpheus did not hesitate. He nodded, and at last, Eurydice's shadowy form emerged from the depths. Together, they ascended the long and winding path to the world above. But with every step, doubt gnawed at Orpheus's heart. Was she truly behind him? Was it truly her footsteps he heard? What if the gods had deceived him? The exit was near, daylight just beyond reach, but the uncertainty was unbearable. He had to see her, and so, in a single, fateful moment, Orpheus turned. His eyes met Eurydice's, filled with love and sorrow. But before he could reach for her, she was pulled back into the abyss, her form dissolving like mist. A final whisper of his name lingered in the air before she was gone. Orpheus stood frozen, grief crashing over him like a relentless tide. He had lost her, not to fate, not to the gods, but to his own doubt. He tried to sing, to call her back, but this time, his music could not change destiny. Heartbroken, he wandered the earth, his melodies now filled with sorrow. The trees still swayed, the rivers still listened, but the joy had left his song. And so, Orpheus became a legend, a tale of love, loss, and the fragility of human trust. And though time would pass and the world would change, his story would never be forgotten. For even in the saddest of songs, love endures, echoing through the ages, eternal as the stars above. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more stories from the world of mythology. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.